And welcome back. In this tough economy, many folks have found themselves looking at the used market when it comes to buying a car. But finding that perfect fit for some drivers is easier said than done. With some useful tips, welcome Cliff Hudson from Hudson's Import Services. Welcome.
Good to see you.
This is a great topic, especially now. People are trying to save money, maybe wanting to step into a new car, but maybe looking at cars that are just a couple years old, maybe low mileage, as another option, a cheaper option.
Yeah, and it's a really interesting thing that we've watched develop here is because the new car market, as you know, when it dried up, when the economy got poor, then the dealers had to shift all their focus to the used car market. So what this created was it created a situation where there was very little inventory available.
Right.
Because everyone was buying used cars and the prices went way high. So this brings people to that wonderful tool we have called the Internet. You got it. Now, there's a lot of bewares that you got to have when you're doing business on the Internet. First of all, the rule of thumb I always use is if it sounds too good to be true,
it usually
is. That's right. There's a lot of scammers on the Internet. A scammer is a guy, Evan, who goes to a car lot, takes a picture, represents himself as a buyer, takes beautiful pictures of the car, and even in the background there's tons of cars sitting around, and then he puts the car on the Internet, advertises it for a ridiculously low price, way back of sometimes even wholesale. The key is there's always a third party involved. You can't meet face to face with him. You're going to send the money to a third party. They're going to hold it in escrow. You've got a guaranteed return on the car. He'll even pay the shipping to get it back to him. That is a scammer cut and dry.
But that's just like a scam where there's just no car usually, right?
Exactly right. You're getting nothing. And even a good friend of mine, a very well-educated friend of mine, came to me and said, "Hey, Cliff, look at this great deal I found." I said, "Man, stay away from this. You're about to lose your money." A friend of my son's, a personal friend of my son's, sent money to a guy for a motorcycle. He hasn't seen it yet. That was 6 months ago.
Now, what about cars that do exist, and they may be decently priced, maybe a little cheaper, but you see them on the Internet. You know the sites that are out there.
Exactly.
There's the big ones like eBay, and then there's also like Craigslist, and you can find cars in the area. What should folks look out for? I mean, it's hard to see from pictures.
Exactly. Everything looks good in a picture. Almost any car looks good in a picture. You can't see faded paint. You can't see wrinkled fenders. There's a lot of things you can't see. Interior glitches are hidden. First of all, always try to buy a car you can drive directly to, face off with the person that owns it, and stare at the car. If you cannot, and even if you can, but if you can't, make sure an independent party, a third party, does a pre-purchase inspection. You want a detailed report on this car along with pictures and all the mechanical and body information that you can get. Has it been painted? Has it been wrecked? That leads us to Carfax and AutoCheck, two excellent sites. As a car dealer, I read them both because I know my customers are going to read one or the other. So I read them both. Even though they sometimes have some erroneous information, you still need to know what they say because often they have some very good information.
Yeah, because what you're looking for is like key things like the mileage, that the odometer hasn't been rolled back.
Exactly.
Flooded, you know. Or,
has it been in a wreck?
Right. Is the title clear?
Now, you know, a wrinkled fender does not a disaster make. New fender gets put on, gets painted to match, all is well there. But if the entire front end has been sliced off the car and replaced, you generally want to know that. There are very often repercussions that live with that car forever.
No, most definitely. So that brings us to you then. What can you provide for local people looking for a nice car?
Well, we do pre-purchase inspections. We've done them for decades. We try to look at the car real closely, try to tell you what it is you're buying. And real important, do this before you buy. I can't tell you how many times the guys walked in my door and said, "Well, I already own the car, but I want you to check it for me."
Yes, make sure I made a good purchase.
Yeah, kind of too late now, but...
And so, you just say, "Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's okay. It's great." No, but you go over it, nice multi-point inspection probably, and tell people that everything's good to go. I mean, you can't obviously know everything, but you can spot the obvious.
Cars are just like kitchen light bulbs. If you can predict which light bulb in your kitchen is going to blow next, that's fabulous, but the best electrician in the world cannot do that.
There you go.
And even, I tell this story, I don't know how much time we got left. I told a story about a pre-purchase inspection I did for a personal friend of mine in the 80s. The car was great. Gave it the thumbs up. Before he got back to the dealer, a major part in the engine broke and damaged the engine so badly it actually broke a hunk out of the transmission.
Oh, man.
Just one of those freak things. No one could have predicted it, but unfortunately, that's what happened.
Okay, Cliff, how can viewers contact you for that?
At the shop, 884-2573. We do import cars only, but there's a lot of people here in town. Look for someone who specializes in the car that you're buying. Get a pre-purchase inspection done by them. Make sure it's an independent inspection of the party who's selling it.
All right, Cliff, thank you so much for stopping by. Useful tips. All right. And right after the break, you never know what to expect when it comes to comedian and songwriter Jeff Wilson with 1F. He'll give us a special performance that's sure to make you smile. That's next.